Once again, you've reached Pay Dirt. I'm your host, B Dirt, with your host, Pay Saunders. What it do, Pay? Once again.
What's happening, my boy? It is a great week. Isn't your better half, her birthday is coming up, right?
That is correct. We're only a few days out. We're less than a week out, so we're gonna celebrate it this weekend.
I can't. Awesome. I know you all party like it's not just 1999, but like there's a meteor crashing towards the earth. So I know you all are gonna have a great time. Happy early birthday, Jess, my Scorpio sister. Hope you all enjoy it.
Yes, and cheers to our first pick six of the year as well.
Yeah, we hit one. I told you all you just rock with us just a little while long, just for a little while. We're gonna get you paid.
Yeah, that payout looked like almost just shy of 50-1, the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So you hit 150-1 bet in an 18-week season. I mean, you can do the math.
Yes.
You can kind of coast the rest of the year. You know what I mean? So
all most of the credit to you, B. You held it down. You took out some of those losers.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, right? Let's put too many in and whittle some of the. I think the terminology we used was also correct. Like, all right, that's a little more risky than this one,
right?
You know, weird things happen on Thursday was one of your quotes, right? Take one of those out. Like, look into the crystal ball and say, okay, what looks like it's more likely to happen or not happen, and go from there. We got Afton the captain in the chat already. We appreciate you, Afton. And a little happy birthday for Jess. Thank you. So yeah, really good week. You know, despite what Tim Lyons thought, those Notre Dame Fighting Irish come through to start us off. Then we hit the Georgia +5, the Broncos -3, the Lions over 51, the Commanders under 52, and the Commanders -8. Solid game of picks. Do you feel as confident this week?
You know I do. Hey, once you're on the heater, you don't take the dice out the man's hand when you're on the heater.
I do have to tell the chat. Shame on me for not having 100% complete buy-in. I only put 3 of the 6 picks in my parlay. I did hit it. I left some meat on the bone and did not take all the cash home I should have. Pay made up for me though. Pay added 3 more to his parlay and cost himself a win. So
yes, it
did. we should have just stayed with the pick 6. But listen, the pick 6 they're our best suggestions to you. If you're comfortable betting 3, 4, all 6, betting them all separately, which I also did, it's a good win. Right? It's a good win. All right, so we got our trusty friend here, the DraftKings board, ready to rock and roll with this thing and get into some football games, man. Let's start with some college games.
Let's do it. All right. College football on Saturday. Whoa! Before we get into the weekend, NBA season started.
I thought you were going to say you're betting Kennesaw State today.
Oh, I'm not feeling that confident. But you know, for those out there, NBA season started yesterday, opening night. Full slate of games tonight. The World Series, Yankees versus Dodgers, start Friday. Do we want to lean into any one of those before we get to Saturday? How you feeling, B?
I'm going to lay low a little bit the first couple weeks of the NBA season and watch some games and take more of those games in. I do kind of like the World Series Let's look and see what's our spread there on the World Series game.
The run line of Game 1 of this World Series has the Yankees plus 1.5. They're throwing Garrett Cole out there on the mound while Jack Flaherty's taking a bump for the Dodgers. Total 8.5.
I tell you what, I might take that plus 1.5 on the Yankees. I give Garrett Cole a slight advantage in that game.
I do too. I like the Yankees plus 1.5 for that game as well. But I like them straight up, to be honest with you.
Oh, you like the money line?
Yeah. So
yeah, you can definitely
yeah.
You can definitely pick up some juice there. And that money line goes to plus 105 rather than minus 198 on that plus 1.5. Tim Lyon's not a big fan of Flaherty, looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go too deep into it about what I think about Jack Flaherty. If you just mano a mano back as far as pitching, Garrett Cole is a superior pitcher.
Yeah, got a little dog in him too.
Got a little dog in him.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that.
Yeah, so I agree with you as far as the NBA. I think I want to let it marinate a little bit. Let the season build up a lather, as we say on the on my Bulls show. But
yeah, you can't say that on the homie show. There'll be signs and memes and videos, all kinds of stuff coming on.
Yeah. Of course, the videos. But I do want to say this. Portland Trailblazers are not going to be a good team again this year. So if you want to just, before you get all the information, if you want to just fade them, you know, it's not a bad idea. Same thing for the Warriors.
Listen, against that could be one of the parlay builders, right? We talk about Portland's playing a pretty good team. You might be getting minus 300 on it, but it might be something that helps just a little bit in that parlay.
Push you over the edge. Give you a couple more dollars. Make it worth your while.
I dig it. All right, so on to college football. We are staying away, I'm assuming, from Liberty, Kennesaw State, or Middle Tennessee and Jacksonville State tonight.
Yes,
but I do like some Thursday night college football. What are you thinking in there?
Ooh,
see anything you like?
That's some good, decent matchups. The ACC has Syracuse going to play Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a 6-point fave. The total is what's caught my eye. 62 over under. You think how vulnerable is that 62?
62 is a tough number to get to. Normally, I just kind of randomly, if you're over 60, I normally will bet 1 unit on the under. It's kind of a rule of thumb. I will sometimes avoid it if it's odd circumstances. But that's normally what I do is I get on that. And, Pittsburgh, they scored 17 their last game?
Yeah, something like that.
It didn't look really good. I also like this Syracuse plus 6. You look at Pittsburgh, anytime they've played a decent team. West Virginia, I think Syracuse is a little better than West Virginia. They took them right down to the bell, won a close one there. They won a close one by 2 points last week. Pittsburgh doesn't have a bunch of blowouts on their schedule, and I think Syracuse has enough talent on the offensive side of the ball that I think they keep this under. 5.5. We should have bet it when it was at 6. But I still like it at 5.5. As long as it's over 4, I'm in.
Okay. You're in. I'm gonna stay away from the spread. I'm more inclined to go with that first thing you said, under 62, because expecting at this point of the season fireworks like that's
35-28.
Yeah, that's a bit risky. So I would gamble this. I would take that one by itself. You know what I'm saying? Just in case some crazy things happen. But 62 for a total is a bit outlandish. I'm more inclined to say, you know what? I kind of think that won't happen. Let me go ahead and get some of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the slip.
All right. What about Friday night slate?
All right, Friday night we've got Louisville at Boston College, Boise State in their blue field playing UNLV, running Rebels.
They're at UNLV.
Yeah.
Redfield.
And we got even worse. Rutgers at University of Southern Cal. Now, one of those East Coast teams are coming to see the Trojans. It's payback time.
Past my bedtime.
USC is almost a 2-touchdown favorite. I think they should be able to cover that.
You think USC wins by more than 2 tutties?
I think so. USC they've taken their lumps in conference play, right? But it's been good teams that's given it to them. Rutgers is not a good team.
Rutgers started off hot and then they, fizzled quickly. True.
But I think USC is a better team. USC is a more polished team. They've got the stars where it counts, right? And they're on their home field. They don't have to do the long travel to go play ball. Somebody got to come see them after 4 hours in the air. I think all the stars align for them to go ahead and win that game easily.
All right, I could probably be talked into that. I might have a bad taste just because USC's cost me some money this week.
I feel the same way.
I did hit the one time you warned me about it. I hit with them, so I don't know, but they were getting points, not giving. I actually liked the game before that. So, did you watch the Oregon State UNLV game at all, or did you see any of that?
I saw some of it.
So, I felt like, and I feel like I've watched this right. UNLV had the well publicized quarterback, decided to redshirt, and another quarterback took over who they like better, and he's been playing pretty well. I just don't know if they got the firepower here. I think Boise State's running game can be the difference in this. The young man for Boise State, pardon me, I forget his name right now, but he is number 1 right now on DraftKings for the Heisman Trophy, I believe. I would look at that. I think USC is going to feed him, Boise State's going to feed him the ball. And I think he is going to be the reason why they win this game by more than a touchdown. So I think he wins. I'll call it a 10-point victory. And I'll take it Boise State to cover the -3 against UNLV. The over-under here is 64. So they obviously do not have any plans on playing defense whatsoever. So over-under 64, I think with the running game, Boise State will control that a little bit more. And I think Boise State wins this game by more than 3. So I'll take it.
All right. Go ahead and add that to our list of games. I don't have anything on that one. I'm going to stay away from that one, personally. If anything else for Friday, it's USC big over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Fun game on Saturday. Washington at Indiana. Indiana favored by 6.5. Don't know if the Indiana quarterback had surgery on his thumb, I was told. Not sure what the deal is there with him playing or not. Last I saw, he was questionable.
Indiana put a bruising on Nebraska this past Saturday.
Boy, did they.
Yeah. I'm glad we took that out of our parlay.
Great takeout. It might ruin the other 5.
Right. So
stench.
Respect Indiana. Respect those Hoosiers. They beat up on the Cornhuskers so bad they hurt themselves, right? Quarterback injuries are always something you got to pay attention to because they affect the line more than anything. This line tells me that injury either isn't a big concern or is not being factored in yet. For that reason, I can't do it.
Avoid. I agree.
I can't avoid.
I have this on the avoid list. Just like I have that next game, Notre Dame at Navy, on the avoid list. We have not seen this Army-Navy sensation that's climbing up the charts play anyone yet. This is the litmus test for me.
Mm-hmm.
How they play against Notre Dame will let me know how I feel about pretty much all the Armed Forces teams playing against real competition. I think Riley Leonard's coming into his own, looking like a better quarterback now, learning the system a little bit more, moving a little bit more in the pocket, running a little bit more, feeling more comfortable after his injuries. So I'm going to keep I'm a close eye on this one. Close eye on this one. Yeah.
I think Notre Dame takes care of this. I'm not buying the hype from the Armed Forces, the service institutes this year. No disrespect to them. They're playing good ball, right? You know, they're doing what they're supposed to do, winning games and taking names. But Notre Dame's a real football institution.
I tell you, Tim didn't believe in his team last week. Now he wants us to place bets on him. That right there makes me leery.
Hey, you either get on the boat or don't. You know, enough of this. Enough. I got Golden Domers taking care of business. Now, 13 points might be a little bit rich. I'm going to stay away from the spread. I take them straight up.
Minus 440. Not enough meat on that bone. I'm avoiding that one.
What else we got for Saturday? We got another Big Ten slobber knocker, Nebraska and Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State is a 25.5 point favorite.
Yeah, take them straight up at minus 2,800 with confidence.
That's one of those parlay, what you call fillers. Yeah. If 440 ain't got enough meat on the bone, this one's just, you know what? This one's just stacking wins.
I'm not touching this one. I want to see how Ohio State looks without their best offensive lineman, left tackle, now out for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Timmons. All right. I'm going to actually bet on a basketball game here at noon. Ooh. North Carolina at Virginia. It's a basketball game, right? No, it's a football game. Okay, my bad. Well, since they're going to play football, I'm going to take Virginia. If they're playing basketball, I'd take North Carolina. But they're playing football. I'm taking Virginia minus 4. I think they take care of business at home against the Tar Heels.
It's not a bad look. Not a bad look. The Tar Heels have been a little
we'll call them lackluster.
I was going to say a little bit more underwhelming.
Okay.
It's not a very good team. I mean, they're talented, but I don't think they're not there yet this year. So, yeah, I can see Virginia. They're going to take care. They're going to beat them. Touchdown or more. It's a good play.
For those of you watching, I'm just going to leave those 2 comments sit. Lord have mercy.
Alabama's playing Mizzou. What's up with Alabama, man? Is their season over?
I don't think they go to the 12-team playoff. Wow. I don't think they're done losing yet either.
Wow.
I think they got one more L in their belt.
Wow. B, They went to 12 teams in the playoffs specifically, so Alabama never misses the postseason ever again. There's no way.
I tell you, man, I think so. LSU at Baton Rouge next week. That's my call. I think they got one more L.
I'm writing that down. So when we come to it, you got to stand on top of it. What about this one this week? Mizzou going to see the Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa.
I'm avoiding this. Missouri hasn't showed me anything that I trust. Alabama has showed me that they're not trustworthy. So because of that, I don't know what I'm getting from either one of these teams. And those are that's a quintessential picture at things I try to avoid. I would much rather bet more consistent, better teams that are more consistently better teams than I would high ceiling teams that are a little bit scattered all over the place but have a lot of talent. The one thing that you got to kind of factor in that when you're talking about that are matchups.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know enough about how Missouri defensively matches up against Alabama. Alabama is chuck it deep or let Milroe run. I'm avoiding that.
Yeah, coming off Alabama the last 2-3 weeks, you don't know what you're getting from them, right? You need something a little bit more. I need something a little more stable, right? I don't want to chance it. We're on a hot streak. I'm not gonna let your kids blow it. I'm gonna stay away as well.
Here's a question that you had last week. Is Vanderbilt good?
I mean, streets are talking. Are they good? You know, that'll help Alabama out when it comes time to put them things together.
Texas goes into Nash Vegas, number 5 versus number 25. Vanderbilt getting 19 points at home.
Mm-hmm.
Are they good?
I think they keep it. I think they keep it close.
Respectable?
Yes, I think they keep it respectable. Texas, they don't. What do you and Big G call Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers? They can dunk
master. Charlie.
Check down Charlie. I don't think Texas offense is built to run.
He's got a dink and dunk doctorate.
For a team to cover a nearly 20-point spread, they've got to destroy their opponents. Their offense got to be above reproach, right? I believe Texas has the better players. Obviously, they do. Texas almost gets the best recruits year in and year out all the time, right? So there's no doubt in my mind that they have the best talent, but I haven't seen the talent drip through, come through their pores as if I would expect a team that was ranked number 1 for a good chunk of the season. Vanderbilt, they've shown improved. I gotta give them more respect than I was at first. The Nerds, they can keep this game close. Do I think Texas can go up 21? That's it. Can they put 3 touchdowns on their forehead? I'm willing to bet that the game will stay at 17. At the end of the game, Texas wins by 17.
So Afton asked in the chat if they were still rolling with Ewers. I haven't heard yet, and I just did a little double checking, make sure I didn't miss anything, and I haven't seen anything yet. Sources will definitely be saying probably tomorrow, my guess, or actually tonight. I like that bet because normally, right, when you see some team, like when you say dominate, right, they not dominate them offensively or they turn them over quite a bit defensively. Vanderbilt they don't have that style of offense where they turn the ball over a ton. They're not a spread offense, throwing the ball around, dropping back to pass a ton. They're going to run the ball. So without like a fumble, scoop and score here, you're asking Texas to outscore them 21 points. Is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? I think Vandy has some fight in them. I think, especially at the quarterback position, and that team's starting to believe a little bit in themselves. I don't mind that. I like that 19. I like that plus 19.
A Commodore got to fight.
All right. Anything else you see in this? We got to talk about the LSU Texas A&M game, even if we don't want to bet it. Number 8 at number 14. Texas A&M is a home dog by 2.5 points.
Mm-hmm. I like the Aggies. I do. I agree with the spread. I think they're evenly matched, but I think at the game comes down to it, I think the Aggies just a little bit better. They are at home, so you got to give them that little a little nudge. So for that reason, it's too close to call. If this number was a little bit different in either direction, I know where to go with it. But I expect this game to be 2-3 points.
Yeah. Florida State at Miami. That's a 21-point favorite. I've never seen that in that game. Michigan State. I told you off air I wouldn't bet them. Again, you talk about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Neither one of these teams to me are really good. Michigan State's at least getting some solid quarterback play over the last 2-3 weeks. Michigan is complete disarray at quarterback position, but it's a home game. Can they run the ball effectively against Michigan State? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? You got anything else for Saturday? We ain't talked about Deion's team in a while.
Listen, I kind of, Cincinnati looked good last week. Cincinnati plus 5.5 at Colorado kind of piques my interest. It's a late start, though. Can I stay up for a 10-15 game?
I believe you cannot. You're going to be partying all weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, if I was at home and there was a 10 o'clock MMA, event on, I think I'd stay up for that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a 2 o'clock MMA start this week, and I'm going to be in Michigan, so, yeah. Probably not going to stay up and watch that one. Therefore, I'm not going to bet it. You got any interest in betting that one?
Nothing from me.
All right. I'm on to the NFL then, my man. So
let's move on.
Well, with that said, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors and give you a hot second to go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you get your podcast, if you haven't given us that 5-star review, please do so. That thing helps us out a ton as far as getting our algorithms up and getting noticed out there and popping up when people are searching for betting advice in the NFL. You should share this with people. Everybody should go 6-0 every once in a while. It's a good feeling. So share it with the people, and we'll be right back in just a few moments. And you are back with Pay Dirt. Once again, I am your host, B Dirt, with your host, Pay Saunders. We went through our Saturday slate and Thursday, Friday of college football, and now we are on to the NFL.
Yeah.
Woo. Man, this is a crazy, crazy league. Lots of injuries going on out there. I mean, you've got to keep an eye out for this. Before we get into that, though, I do want to say, Afton said, does you bring a wake affect the outcome? Being is what I believe she meant. Does me being awake affect the outcome of the games? It does not. I do like the instant satisfaction, but a very smart man told me that you're never really successful until you make money in your sleep. So she might be on to something.
Also, the in-game betting aspect. You know, if things start going in the opposite way, I need to be able to steer the ship back right. You know what I mean?
Love a good in-game chase.
Yeah.
Woo. That's a risky business.
I got a story for you. So last week, right? Game of the week, Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions. They came into that game. Detroit was a 1.5 point fave, right? So you're not really getting anything out of that, right? But they went down 10-0 very fast. I looked at DraftKings. Oh, they're now plus 6.5. Well, you know what I did? Let me hit that. Hit that right there. Built that parlay up a little bit. Come home to Papa.
There it is. Money. So the Vikings are playing this week on Thursday. This is one of the games that I could not understand. So 2.5 point spread here, right? For the Vikings are minus 2.5 at the LA Rams. It seems like a really close line for the way the Vikings have been playing versus the way the Rams have been playing. And right now you hear rumors that Cooper Kupp might be on the trading block.
Yeah, let me go ahead and save everybody some time. The Rams aren't a good team this year. I don't care. Injuries might have played a factor into that, but they're not a good team. They're not good enough to be for them to only be getting 2.5 points against a team that just lost its first game of the year. The Vikings are a good team. The Vikings are going to go upside their head repeatedly on Thursday night. I'm not going to dilly-dally or meander around this, whatever. I am taking this as I'm not going to say the L word, my sure thing. Okay. Minnesota 2.5.
So, when we were backstage, this was the first thing I brought up is, why is this so fishy? Minnesota seems like they should be favored by more than 4.5 to me. I know you give 3 points for home field advantage normally is what the rule of thumb is. So I think 7.5 on a neutral field is the right number. Minnesota's getting 90% of bets on DraftKings placed on them right now. Why is that line still only minus 2.5? Do they know something we know? I'm gonna dig in. Who's going to show up on the injury report? This is a weird one. I like the Vikings here too. I just don't understand. I think the Vikings defense played well enough. I think they know what they're going to get out of the Rams. The Rams are going to want to run the ball because they don't really have very many people and very many options right now to catch the ball. So I like this. I think it's a good pick by you.
Yeah, save for Darnold or Greenard rather, and maybe an offensive lineman getting hurt for the Minnesota Vikings. If all those guys are playing, I don't see an avenue in which this game is close. Cooper Kupp doesn't affect the line. No wide receiver affects the line in a drastic sense. It's usually only quarterbacks and special defensive players that affect lines. A wide receiver, I'm not buying it. I think this is a fool's gold.
All right, I like it. Cheeseheads -4 at Jacksonville. Again, listen, I know Green Bay's been winning a lot of games. They've been close games for the most part. Love, to me, turns the ball over too much for me to trust him right now. Jacksonville seems like they got way too much talent to be as poor as they are. I don't like this. I wish the under was about 44 or the over-under because I would take the over there. 49 starts getting a little rich for me to take the over. I just don't like the game.
I think the Packers are a lot better than the Jaguars. A lot better. The Jaguars the best defenses in the league. Jordan Love, even though I think he's not playing lights out. He's playing better than Trevor Lawrence.
Sure.
Why this is only 4? That's worth thinking about. That's worth considering. Like how you say, you know what, something's fishy. I want to investigate a little more on the previous game. That's where I'm at with this one, because this spells like it should be another large number. It should be a 7.5 point spread. Why is it 4? Maybe it's the home team.
93% of bets on DraftKings are on the pack.
Maybe it's that home team discount again. I don't know. I'm going to look into it a little bit more, but I'm leaning Packers heavily.
I do want to owe you an apology here. All the homies, we did our picks. You were reading the picks this week instead of me. I went through and was writing them down. I wrote them down from DraftKings on my account on my phone and said that you were putting them in the wrong order. I am now looking at what you have up on the screen versus what I have on my app, and they are not, in fact, in the same order all the time. Mine's jumping around a little bit.
I don't know why I do. I think they do algorithms. You know, I think they try to give you what they show you
who they want you to bet on.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, we got a couple of the next games in the 1:00 slate. The no bye weeks this week. Everybody's playing. The Titans versus the Lions, Ravens against the Browns in an AFC North matchup, Colts at the Texans in an AFC South matchup, and the Jets versus the Patriots in an AFC East matchup. Any of these 4, how do they look to you?
Normally, double digit in the NFL, a double digit point spread. I'm taking the points. Not so much on this Lions-Titans game. I'm going to leave that one away.
Ooh.
The Cleveland Browns, who's playing quarterback?
It's probably going to be Jameis Winston. Their 3rd quarterback, mind you. The preacher.
I mean, you think the Ravens go in there and thump them?
They should. But I'm always skittish with the Ravens in large lines, you know? When they're supposed to do it, they don't do it. It's when
they'll play down. They'll play down a little bit, yeah.
But when the line is 3.5, like they were this past Monday against Tampa Bay, they go out there and show you that they're who they are. And like, God, why can't you do that every week when you're supposed to, right? With that being said, the Cleveland Browns, they actually improved today from Sunday. They don't have that quarterback throwing the passes anymore. Deshaun Watson.
Ooh, addition by subtraction.
Yeah, it is addition by subtraction. He just doesn't have it anymore. He's a wounded warrior. I think he was sticking up the joint. Now, do I think Jameis Winston is more talented? Probably not. But Jameis Winston is a starter in this league. At least he was for a good portion of his career. He can drop some bombs on you. So this isn't a bye week for any stretch of the imagination.
Listen, Jameis is really sharing is caring, though. I mean, he will give everybody the ball.
True. To that point, is Marlon Humphrey going to be healthy? Is he going to play?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
If
I don't trust this. I expect it. Listen, I think Cleveland's in too much disarray. There's been way too much talk from their team about the fans and their fans' reaction to Deshaun Watson's injury. I don't know if that's going to galvanize the team against everybody, or is that just going to get everybody to, I half-ass it? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they're going to react. Right. For that reason alone, I'm out on this one.
Yeah, I was going in that same direction. Not so much being out, but more so taking the Browns on that plus 8.5. I kind of think the emotions are tied up. It's time they might get behind Winston. after he had that sermon. Yeah. After he had that sermon in the locker room after the clap gate. Clap gate.
He sure did.
You know, some strange things might happen in the AFC North. If I'm to take anything out of this game, I am more leaning towards Cleveland Browns plus 8.5.
I get it. I'm not gonna ride with you, but I get it.
No. I'm not definitive about that. It's still a lean. It's a lean for me with the Browns.
So your next game, I've already got in my book here. This one's like jumped off the page to me. I think the Texans, after CJ Stroud only threw for 80 some yards last week, this sounds like a bounce back game to me against a Colts team that really hasn't been playing great.
Oh yeah, I don't think Anthony Richardson's a pro quarterback right now. He's got the tools. He's got a cannon on his shoulders. He's got the athletic ability, but for some reason he keeps underthrowing guys. And the reads that he's making are god awful. Houston Texans, by all means, they do bounce back. They are well coached. They have all the talent. I can't see 2 straight dubs from CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud doesn't have the makeup to play bad consecutive games. At least he had to this point in his career, for that matter. I have no reason to believe that Houston won't strangle the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday.
And they get a little home cooking too. I like it. That's I'm on the Texans -5. Afton says, "Who is the Browns number 2?" The correct answer, Afton, the Browns are number 2. It's DTR. It recently is DTR. It started off the year with Jameis Winston. They moved it. Going into last week, they moved DTR up to number 2. Then he is not playing this week. It looks like Jameis Winston. CJ Stroud had 5.34 fantasy points. Yow. I think he gets that in the first try. All right. What you got next? Another weird line.
Yeah, the Jets are a bad team. I mean, just flat out. They're a bad team. So are the Patriots. So for that matter, just like last week when we talked, I don't know why the odds makers were giving the Rams 7-point respect against the Raiders. They didn't deserve that, and we called that accurately. They're not good enough to get 7 points. Same thing this week. The Jets are not good enough to give anybody 7 points. You can't be 2-5 and be a 7-point fave over anybody, especially on the road. I don't care who it is. The New England Patriots, for as bad as they are, they play tough on defense at least. The Jets, they lost again last week. I think the best play of that game was Devontae Adams chasing down I forget his name, who had the interception. Which goes to show you that maybe the wide receiver wasn't what they needed after all. But the fighting Aaron Rodgers is going to do what they want to do. I can't take this game in good faith. I'm staying away from this altogether.
Yeah, the Jets did beat the Patriots at home on September 19th, 24-3.
They did. I still have no belief in them. That's one of their 2 wins.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not
betting this game.
No, I can't do it.
I'm not betting this game. But I was referring to the next one as an odd, the odd +2.
You don't believe the Bengals
Eagles
are
at the Bengals?
You don't believe the Bengals should give 2 to the Philadelphia Eagles?
Here's the concern with this, right? And we're going to be all running through the jungle after this show, 8:05, if you want to come check us out and get into it a little more in detail. All year, the Bengals, my concern going into the year, and then my concern during the year has been the Bengals' run defense. I think the Eagles have figured out the secret sauce to their team is getting Saquon going. If they get Saquon going, and then you're using play action pass and throwing the ball deep, to Brown or over the middle to Devontae Smith or the tight ends there, that's where I think that they get really good. This is, the Bengals defense has looked better the past 2 weeks, but it's looked better against the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants. This is push come to shove. This is the litmus test. Can they look good against the Philadelphia Eagles? I'm not touching the 10-foot pole.
This is the litmus test. This one
to see if they have a decent defense. Yeah.
Okay.
Because earlier in the year they had 5 defensive linemen out when the other teams were scoring 30, 40 points on them. To me, this is going to prove whether their defense is actually I'm saying a top 5, top 10. I'm saying an average NFL defense is what we need to have in Cincinnati.
I hear what you're saying. For me, I think Philadelphia's offense is 90% Saquon. If Saquon gets off against that defense that has been gashed by running backs left and right this season, then you might be in trouble. In fact, you will be in trouble. But I'm going to give you guys a puncher's chance to keep this close. I think that line is a little too close, right?
I mean we're a 2-point favorite.
Right. I don't, from right here, I cannot say that the Bengals should be favored. They should win this game. I think they could win this game because I don't think very favorably of the Philadelphia Eagles either. I think they're a bit smoke and mirrors ever since that Super Bowl appearance a couple of years back. But for that being said, I think that line's a little too close for me to like me to go all in either way. I'm going to stay away from this one.
Yeah, listen, I've been very unpopular the past couple of years saying that Jalen Hurts has already had his best season as a pro. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's a talented. Let me explain it. I think he's got talent. He is a very good athlete. His touch pass, to me, he's lacking some stuff as a quarterback that I'd like out of quarterbacks a little bit more. Can that still develop? Sure, absolutely. You see quarterbacks continue to develop all the time. I mean, look at from an MVP season last year to this year with Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson has developed even further this year. His control of the offense, of the pocket, of keeping his eyes downfield, of knowing where to look for people has went to another level. So, yes, everybody can continue to develop no matter how poor, how much there is to develop, or how little there is. So it's not all out on him, but he's going to have to do something different to me. So I get why you would say that. Do you like this game?
Not at all.
All right, me neither. I don't like the next one either.
No, we can skip right past the NFC South matchup. Let's go to Tua's back. Thoughts? Well, he should be back.
Oh, man. What is he saying? His press conference was so weird. Oh, man.
Would you they have the Dolphins as a 3.5-point favorite. I think the line would be even more if Tua put the Guardian cap on.
You think it gets another point? You go to 4.5 with the Guardian cap?
I think it even goes to 5 if he puts that foam around his helmet.
Ed Reed's take on the Guardian cap was pretty spot on to me.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what the man's talking about. You know, it makes no sense. You know, I was always taught when I was playing football, concussions come from you not having your mouth guarded and you getting your bell rung from down here in the jaw area. And that chatter from teeth smacking each other reverberates up to your brain. That type of stuff right there. So covering up my head more with what 6 inches of foam, it kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, it softens the blow for some, direct head-to-head collision. Well, collisions directly to the head, yeah, but there's more than one ways to get to that brain injury, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, and you're talking about spine and neck and those things too. The compression causes those as well. There's a lot to it. I don't trust it. I don't see the Dolphins. I mean, is Armstead playing? I think he's more important than anything.
True.
I don't see without a left tackle. I don't know. This team looks lost to me. I don't know. Tua, the last time we saw him, he wasn't playing great either.
No, he might have been hurt. He might have been hurt pregame. The
Cardinals are hot and cold, but this is the perfect Cardinals line, though. Give me that hook. Plus 3.5. The Cardinals are going to score a touchdown when nothing matters and cut this to a 3-point game and win on the hook.
Living dangerously. I like it.
Yeah.
Bills, Seahawks, first game of the late window. Bills going to go all the way to Seattle.
I want to watch that game, but I don't want to bet it.
Yeah.
DK is still questionable, right?
Yeah, he's still questionable. They haven't ruled him out yet, but I think he's trending towards not playing.
Doubtful.
Yeah. What about Saints Chargers? I'm not watching that at all.
No, that's
red
trash.
Zone. Don't put that on my red zone.
I think I like what the Chargers offense is starting to do now. Their defense has played pretty solid all year. Their offense moved the ball really well last game, just didn't get it in the end zone. They need to figure out a way to get in the end zone. And I think the Saints are kind of a good place to do that right now. The Saints started off hot, and they just a lot of injuries and a lot of bad things going on there. Did I see Kamara signed a 2-year extension?
I did not see that.
I thought I saw that. Maybe I'm dreaming that. I'm dreaming that for his sake.
So, one thing I did notice in the
he did.
In the Saints last game.
Alvin Kamara yesterday signed 2 years, $24.5 million. He could have got out of Dodge.
That is interesting. He's already, 31 years old. Huh. So, one thing I did notice in the Saints last game, that they had trouble stopping the Broncos running backs from doing anything. The Chargers have been pretty successful running the ball. So, if it was anything from this game that I was considering,
DK,
it would be J.K. Dobbins over wherever I find his rushing props. They might not have it listed for some reason. But yeah, that would be the one thing that I'm considering. Just, checking that out, see where that's at. And probably leaning that way. He's been pretty good for them running the ball this year. What about you?
I'm looking for the rushing myself here. I don't see it either.
We'll come back to it. It's a little odd that it's not there, but it's all right. No big deal.
I wonder if it's not there on purpose.
Ooh, mystery. Conspiracy theories. I love them. All right, let's come back to the big board. The game of the week. Chicago Bears, DC Commanders. The Bears are 2.5 fave. There's a lot of energy trending towards Jaden Daniels not playing.
The game of the week.
Rookie of the year battle. Settle it in week 8.
I wish he was healthy coming into this. It would be a great battle.
Yes, me too. Because I wanted to stick it to everybody that said the Bears made a mistake and should have took Jaden Daniels. I wanted you to have to suck those rotten eggs.
I know.
Yeah. But in the event that Jaden doesn't play, the Bears win this game big. So if you think Jaden's not going to play, you better get on this now because that line is going to move this second before they even call him out. The line is going to move because they don't get the information first, obviously. So if you feel like the Bears are going to win this game, get on it now. If you feel like Jaden Daniels is not going to play and the Bears are going to win big, you better get on this now.
I'm looking for a prop here about let's see. I don't see. Do you see the props here? What Caleb Williams nails will say? I don't see it on here.
I don't think DK hosts those type of props there, B.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to look elsewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
Very interested. I can't wait to see what his nails say.
Well, since the Bears have been winning, his nails have been clear.
Maybe there's something to do with that there. I don't like this Cowboys 49ers mash unit game versus the inconsistent Cowboys. I'm flying by that. The
Agreed.
Chiefs and Raiders, again, 10-point spreads, and I'm not taking the Raiders. I
don't like the Chiefs as a big fave. They as an over touchdown fave, the Chiefs notoriously in the last 3-4 years, notoriously below the bag. I'm staying away from it as well.
You got the Broncos 10-point faves. What? Bo Nix is a 10-point favorite anywhere. Can't touch that.
Nope, can't do it. Even though I think they could win by 10 points on principle alone, that's too risky.
Yep. I'm looking all the way down to the Monday night matchup before I get into it here.
Pittsburgh 6.5-point fave over the Giants. The total is 36.5. Come
is
on.
It time to start buying the over on the Steelers games? Oh my goodness. What is the world coming to?
Come on.
The Giants have a pretty stout defense too.
Their defensive line, not the defense.
True. Very true.
You know what? I think playing the over on this one is a heady play.
Oh man, I want to play this as a teaser. I want Steelers and the over teased.
Not a bad option. All right, man. What else you got?
That's it, man. That's all I got.
Okay. Let's do our favorite part.
We got to cut this by more than half. What do you mean? You want to put more of them in there?
No. I am good. So, let's go. For review, we've got the Yankees Friday night winning straight up. The Yankees 1.5 on the run line. Syracuse 5.5-point dogs against Pittsburgh. The under 60.
I'm going to start off with this. Before we even get into it. We got 14. That means if we get rid of the 2 baseball bets, we got to cut it in half. I say we just get rid of the 2 baseball bets.
All right. Let's cut it out.
We're done with it.
There's no Reggie Jackson for the Yankees anyway. That's a Mr. October reference. So
there might be 3 of them.
All
right. Do you like Syracuse?
I don't like it as much as some other ones.
All right.
I like Syracuse 5.5 less than I like the under 62 from that Syracuse Pittsburgh game. If that is a tie.
Say that again.
I said I like Syracuse on their spread 5.5 less than I like the under 62 from that same game.
So take which one you don't like and leave the other one, and we'll keep going.
Let's move. All right, we got Boise State -3, USC -13.5, Notre Dame on the money line, Virginia -4, Vanderbilt +19. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, out of all those college games I just talked about,
yep,
the 2 riskiest The two riskiest is Boise State -3,
Agreed.
Vanderbilt +19.
Agreed.
Let's go ahead and get those out of there.
Knicks and Knicks. Those are the exact two I was looking at.
Mm-hmm. That leaves us with 4 college games.
All right, leave the 4 and let's start whittling this NFL game.
All
Listen,
right.
I know that you guys are listening right now, and this is kind of the hard part for you to get into. There's not a lot of analysis, but listen to the finer points here about where we're trying to do risk management at this point. Where's the riskier game at? It's very vital when you're looking at these to get your bets in and get rid of some of that risk.
All right. First NFL game, Vikings -2.5. We have the Texans -5, Cardinals +3.5, Bears -2.5, and the over 36.5 in the Monday Night Football game between the Giants and Pittsburgh Steelers.
So out of those games, I immediately think there's 2 games that stand out because there's variables we don't know about. One of them is my pick, the Cardinals over the Dolphins. The other one is that Bears and Commanders game.
All right. Let's get rid of both of those.
Now we're down to 7.
All right, 7. All right, so we have three picks for the NFL, 4 for college. Want to make it even?
Let's take a look at making it even.
All right. Back up to the college. Under 62, Pittsburgh, Syracuse. USC wins by 2 tutties. Notre Dame wins outright. Virginia -4. I think Notre Dame is going to win outright. I think that is a sure thing. So for me, it's between Virginia -4 because you can always win by 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the under 62. They can put up some points. It's not, 33 isn't beyond the realm of possibility. So I think those 2 are the most vulnerable to mess this whole thing up.
All right, let's do a quick analysis here. Syracuse last game 44-41 against UNLV, 42-14 Holy Cross, 26-24, 31-28, 38-22. Yeah, let's nix the under. Life's too short to bet the under.
All right, under's out of there. That leaves us with USC -13.5. Notre Dame win outright. Virginia -4. Vikings 2.5 point faves. The Texas faves and the over 36.5 in the Monday Night Football game with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York G-Men. That gives us a 6-leg parlay with odds of 2,919.
All right, what was that last leg on the college game?
Last leg is Virginia -4.
That's right. All right, we got it down. Listen, we 6-0 last week brought us to 20-14 on the year, or 58.8% winning percentage. We've talked about it at the beginning of the year. 58% is what we're trying to get to. That's where you can consider yourself a professional gambler. So we are there now. Now we're trying to roll this into a couple of nice 4 and 2s, 5 and 1s, get into some padding for the season. So I feel good about these. I feel good about them. USC is going to have to turn it on. But I feel good about the rest.
Agreed. Me too.
What a world we live in that we can bet the over on a Steelers game. What a difference a year makes, huh, Pay?
I'm still not convinced, but yeah, I'm a ride out. Like Russ always says, ride out.
All right, well, tell everybody where they can catch you next. You're all over the place, my man.
We have our NBA season's back. So we got Bulls shows coming up. We've got basketball shows to talk about on the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Never a dull time. We got something all year round. Bulls, Bears, Sox, Cubs, DePaul Blue Demons, if that even tickles your fancy. Check us out. Subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts, even on YouTube. Same name, same bad time.
Is that Bulls show called the Zach LaVine Trade Watch, or is that a different show?
We talk about that for about 20 minutes every episode. When is he going to get moved?
I dig it. Hey, check us out. I'm going to flip the script here. If you're watching, go right back over here, get on, run it through the jungle. We're going to talk about this upcoming matchup with the Philadelphia Eagles. For those of you that watch Steel Curtain Network, watch the homies, the know-it-alls, we are going to be doing a crossover here, crossover-ish, with a contributor in the know-it-alls. The little homie Tate, Damian, will be joining us. He's an Eagles fan and a really good football mind, so can't wait to see him. He's going to be on Thursday, and Tim just found that out just now live on here. So check us out over there. And again, listen, ride with us, pick and choose what you want to play, however you want to do it, get your money in. Get back here next Wednesday night, 6:35-ish Eastern time, when we reach pay dirt.